Chosen one, hear this with your spirit fully awake. This is not an ordinary moment, and you are not listening by accident. There are times in a person's life when the invisible begins to press against the visible, when what has been hidden behind layers of misunderstanding, delay, and silence can no longer stay concealed. This is one of those moments. The veil that once kept things blurred is tearing, and with it comes clarity that cannot be reversed. Tomorrow marks the beginning of an irreversible shift, one that does not depend on permission, approval, or readiness from the outside world. This shift has been authorized by heaven itself. What is being revealed is not just information, it is identity. This message is about your real family, not merely the one you were born into, but the one you were destined for. The family that matches your spirit, your calling, your frequency. For a long time, you've tried to understand why you felt different, why belonging always seemed conditional, why even love felt incomplete. That wasn't confusion, it was discernment forming. This moment is not coincidence, it is divine revelation unfolding at the exact appointed time. Heaven does not rush truth, and it does not reveal destiny prematurely. Everything you endured prepared you for what you are about to recognize. Stay with this message until the very end, not just to hear what is being said, but to align with what is being activated. Something in you already knows this is real. Your spirit recognizes the tone, the timing, the weight of what's unfolding. Tomorrow, everything changes, not because circumstances suddenly improve, but because your alignment shifts. And when alignment shifts, reality must follow. Chosen one, understand this clearly. Engagement is not passive here, it is participatory. When you like this message, when you subscribe, when you leave a comment, you are not simply interacting with content. You are responding to a spiritual signal. Intention carries energy, and attention directs it. When you write your desires, your warmest wishes, and seal them with the number 99, you are not making a request, you are making a declaration. 99 represents completion, divine alignment, and the closing of cycles. It is a signal sent into unseen realms that says, I am ready. This is not superstition, it is spiritual agreement. Throughout history, activation has always required response. Heaven moves when alignment is acknowledged. By engaging, you are placing your fingerprint on this moment, saying yes to the shift that is already in motion. This is participation in a divine movement, not a performance. You are not convincing God of anything. God is confirming something to you. Energy follows intention, and intention spoken aloud carries authority. Your comment becomes a marker in time, a spiritual timestamp that says you were present when the alignment occurred. This is not about numbers or algorithms. It is about resonance. When you respond, you step out of observation and into alignment. You are no longer watching transformation. You are consenting to it. That is why this moment matters.
Heaven-ordained participation.
So engage with intention, not out of habit. What you release now echoes further than you realize. This is how shifts are sealed. Chosen one, your birth family was an assignment, not a definition. This truth may be difficult to accept, especially if you were taught that loyalty required silence or endurance without understanding. But the truth is this: you were placed where you were for development, not containment. Many of the challenges you faced were not because something was wrong with you, but because something was being formed within you. Separation, misunderstanding, and emotional distance were part of the testing process, not to break you, but to refine you. Your difference was never a flaw, it was evidence of calling. You saw differently, felt deeply, questioned more, and carried an awareness others could not articulate. That awareness did not fit easily into familiar structures. Your real family was never meant to be limited to bloodlines or last names. It was always spiritual. Family, in its truest form, is about alignment, not obligation. It is about shared frequency, shared purpose, and mutual recognition of calling. That is why you often felt like a visitor instead of a member, present but not fully received. This was not rejection, it was redirection in disguise. Heaven does not place royal assignments into environments that would dilute them. What felt like loss was actually protection. You were never meant to be fully rooted where you were planted initially. You were meant to grow there, but not remain there. Your spirit always knew this, even when your mind tried to rationalize staying. Now the truth is surfacing. Your real family is being revealed, and it has always been spiritual, intentional, and ordained. Loneliness for the chosen one is not about the absence of people, it is about the absence of resonance. You can be surrounded and still feel unseen, celebrated publicly, yet unsupported privately. Many of your victories were achieved quietly, acknowledged minimally, or misunderstood entirely. You learned to clap for yourself, to hold your own joy, to process your own grief. Out of loyalty and love, you tolerated misalignment longer than you should have, hoping understanding would eventually arrive. You stayed because you cared, because you believed patience was proof of love. But patience without alignment becomes self-abandonment. Those long wilderness seasons were not punishment. They were preparation. In isolation, your discernment sharpened. In silence, your strength grew. You learned how to stand without applause, how to survive without affirmation. That kind of endurance is not accidental, it is forged. The loneliness you experienced was not because you were unlovable, it was because you were uncommon. You were being trained to recognize truth when it finally appeared. Wilderness seasons strip away illusions and dependencies. They teach you the difference between connection and attachment. Everything you endured built the capacity to recognize your real family when they appear, because you will know the difference immediately. Loneliness taught you discernment, and discernment is now your doorway. You were born carrying divine code, sensitivity, perception, depth. From the beginning, your spirit responded to things others overlooked. You felt atmospheres, sensed shifts, carried compassion that seemed excessive to those around you. But instead of being nurtured, that sensitivity was often criticized or misunderstood. You were told to toughen up, to be less, to harden your edges. So you learned to dim yourself to survive. You carried burdens that were never yours, absorbed emotions that were never meant to rest on your shoulders, all in the name of keeping peace. Yet even as you adapted, something within you resisted fully settling. You always knew, quietly but persistently, that this was never home. Royal essence does not disappear when it is unrecognized. It waits. Your light was never extinguished. It was concealed for protection. Environments that cannot perceive brilliance often attempt to suppress it. That suppression was not your failure. It was their limitation. And now the season of concealment is ending. What was hidden is being revealed, not for validation, but for alignment. Your light was never meant to impress. It was meant to gather. Your real family is defined by frequency, not familiarity. These are people aligned with your calling, not just your comfort. They carry divine ingredients: healing, protection, wisdom, joy, favor, each one essential to the collective purpose. Heaven preserved them, just as it preserved you, until the appointed time. This family was not delayed. It was prepared. Alignment requires maturity. Had you met too early, you may not have recognized one another. But now, refinement has done its work. This is not about emotional safety alone. It is about spiritual assignment. These connections will stretch you, honor you, and call you higher. They will not compete with your light. They will amplify it. This is not coincidence. It is orchestration. Divine families are assembled, not stumbled upon. And now, the assembly has begun. The reunion does not arrive loudly. It begins subtly, with conversations that go deeper than expected, with people who feel familiar without explanation. Your soul responds before your logic can intervene. Anxiety gives way to peace. Tension releases from your body. Your nervous system finally exhales. These are signs. Recognition happens at the spirit level first. You may find yourself thinking, I don't know why, but I trust them. That knowing is ancient. When alignment is present, effort dissolves. There is no performance, no guarding, no shrinking. This is how you will know the reunion has begun. Your body feels safe, your spirit feels seen, and your heart feels steady. Peace is the confirmation. Destiny is never fulfilled alone. Isolation was a season, not a sentence. You are transitioning from survival mode into legacy mode. Where you once protected yourself, you will now collaborate. Iron sharpens iron, and when chosen ones gather, strength multiplies. This is not dependency, it is divine synergy. When one rises, all rise. Unity does not weaken you, it anchors you. What you once carried alone will now be shared, strengthened, and expanded. This is the architecture of legacy. Tomorrow is not about the clock, it is prophetic timing. An energetic recalibration is already underway. Your clarity is sharpening, your authority stabilizing, your discernment deepening. You are releasing old alignments without grief because you finally understand their purpose has ended. Heaven is making space, and space is required for alignment. What is coming cannot coexist with what is leaving. Tomorrow marks the internal shift that forces external change. With your real family, you will not explain yourself. Laughter will be effortless. Conversation will flow without fear. You will be seen by the Spirit, not judged by appearance. You will feel like you've known them forever because, on some level, you have. Recognition does not require proof. It arrives as peace. Chosen ones are converging after parallel journeys of refinement. Shared pain, shared prayers, shared preparation now intersect. Connection accelerates destiny.
Mutual honor riplace suspicion.
Truth is spoken without fear. This gathering is not social, it is prophetic. In this alignment, buried parts of you return. Childlike hope, warrior strength, visionary clarity awaken. You are no longer too much, you are exactly right. Healing happens through belonging. Identity is restored in safe connection. What you carry requires a tribe to hold it. You are no longer pouring into shallow ground. Giving now energizes you. Truth becomes the foundation of something eternal. Legacy is not built in isolation, it is built in alignment. You are hidden for protection, not forgotten. The right people are arriving in the right season, mature and prepared. Nothing is forced. Everything flows. This is confirmation. Tomorrow is a gate, not a repeat. Old cycles end permanently. You are remembered, not just chosen. You are coming home. This is your real family. It is written.